Hey everyone, how you all doing? I'm here doing another kind of video for a quick explanation on a little issue that seems to be pretty normal. Seems like a lot of people that owns Fj60 have this issue. And as you can see here, I already started working on it, but it's this issue with the windshield wipers having kind of like a slag or a a little bit of a wiggle room. They're not tight, if you will, when they go up and down in the motor. And here's where the motor sits, right? There's like 6 screws. I just took those out, right? Just took this little motor out, and it's pretty easy. It's only a few screws, number 3 screws, but here's the problem, is this piece right here. You can see this piece. It has like a plastic connector that is supposed to connect here, and there you can see that when that plastic connector wear off, it has this slag or wiggle. So there is 2 connecting points. There is one here, and there is one in the middle there that has the same plastic connector. Now they don't make this part anymore. From what I've been reading, Toyota discontinued this part. You can see there how it's all let me put my light here. How it's all messed up. But anyways, yeah. Let me see. There you go. There you go. You can see it better there. But you can see here how this part, you see that plastic piece kind of wears off, and it's supposed to be nice and tight there. So when the motor spins, right, it kind of moves the windshields like this up and down, you know, as this spins. But with this lag, then there is that wiggle room that everybody talks about. So you probably have about, I don't know, half an inch here, maybe an inch, and you have the same on the connector over there. You know, same plastic piece, same wiggle room, then you're looking at 1.5 inches, maybe a couple inches of wiggle, or a slag, if you will. So anyway, my DIY is going to be today replacing that little piece. But as I said, Toyota doesn't make that piece anymore. You can, let me zoom in here. You can see that plastic piece, right? And how it's all beat up. But there is a, you know, kind of like an alternative piece that is made for a few other Toyotas, I believe, and GM cars, that is like a generic piece that it will fit on that little hole. So I got that from NAPA, and I'll tell you the part number and all that in the description below, but I'll also do a little review on that. And my idea is that I'm going to test that out, see if I can replace those to eliminate that slag and clean some of this debris with the vacuum here that I have. So anyways, that's my project for today, and I'm going to be replacing that. And like I said, the motor sits right here, and it's very easy. It's just taking these 3 screws in the bottom and on the top and 2 on the bottom here, and that's that. And then you take the motor out, and then the motor plugs into this, right? So you just got to make sure that you see the direction that this was facing when you take the motor, and that way when it spins, right, it doesn't become a problem. But that's the idea for today, and then we'll take it from there. Okay everyone, here's the follow-up of the video, but basically this is the wiper motor, right, that I just kind of took this from the cruiser, and I was wiping it off because it had a bunch of mud from the last time I went off-roading. I didn't pressure wash the engine, so I still had a bunch of mud, but you can see the mud. Anyways, but took that out, right, and kind of mark how this thing was going. This is kind of like the way that it was. And then you take this little knot here, and this thing comes out, and this is the part that attaches to the link, which is basically like a stainless steel brass thing. This was the piece, or the plastic bushing, if you will, that connects from the from this little arm into the linkage, wiper linkage. And as you can see, it was all beat up, and it was also broken. You can see right there what is broken. But this was the problem, right? That when this thing spins, right, it moves the windshield wipers back and forth, back and forth. But the link has that play, if you will, that instead of sitting here solid on this, it has that play that the motor will move, and then the wipers kind of like wiggle a little bit. So anyways, this part is not made by Toyota anymore. It's a discontinued part. There's a couple of people that make it homemade, you know, like printed or whatever, molded or whatever from plastic on the forums. But there was somebody that had this part from NAPA, and I'll put the description here. Put this. So this is the part number from NAPA 63505, and it's wiper linkage, and it's also there it is, NAPA Solutions, and it's also a transmission linkage, I guess, for some Fords. But there it is, and it's basically, if you look at it from the Toyota part, right, it's pretty much a good match as far as how round it is and all that. So this will connect here on this. Sorry, trying to keep the camera steady, but anyway, this thing will connect here with a little bit of grease, right? And then when it spins, you know, I gotta kind of push it in place, if you will, but I have to put some grease first. And then this part has this little groove that will connect into the arm, right, into the linkage arm, and hopefully this take care of the problem. Now, it's not a perfect match, it's not a perfect part from Toyota or anything like that, but it's a really good alternative, right? This thing, it was $11 for this little box, and the box comes with 4, which is perfect because the linkage has 2, right? And then you get 2 little spare ones. I already tried to put this one, and it fits really good here. I mean, I just need to put some grease on it before I fit it. It should fit right at home here, and then this part is going to take a little bit of work to put it in the arm of the linkage arm, but I think it will fit. I might have to like grind this little groove right here a little bit, this, you know, this little part, so it matches. But overall, I think it will be a good fit. It's an $11 solution for a really common problem on the Fj60s, and again, I think this is a great solution since they don't make these parts anymore. A lot of the solutions on the forums are to change or replace the entire linkage arm, and it's a couple $100 plus all the labor taking the linkage arms from the Cruiser. It takes a couple hours of labor and whatnot. This is a really easy fix, you know, it's like 5 screws. You take that little bolt and then you replace these, you know, with right here, and you have a working wiper, and I think it's gonna work well. Anyways, it's gonna take a little bit of maybe grinding it a little bit to make it fit, but again, for a quick, simple solution, I think it's a great solution. So anyway, to install it, I added a little bit of grease, obviously, as I push it in here, right? And it's not gonna go in that simple, right? Because that's the whole point. It's a tight part. So basically, what I do is that I use a plier and I just kind of like push it together like that, and it just kind of compress it and just puts it into place. Then I will mount it into the motor here, and then I will try to do the same thing with the pliers on the arm part. And like I said, I might have to grind this thing a little bit, but I think it's gonna work fine. Okay, so here I installed the bushing, and as you can see, let me move my light here. Put my light like this. It's kind of hard to see, I'm sorry about that, but as you can see here, the bushing fits, right? And this is, it's gonna move the linkage, and there is no more. It wiggles a little bit, but not much. It should work pretty well. So again, what I did is that with this, just kind of put it in place and pressure it, and with a little bit of pressure it went in, and it's pretty good, it's pretty tight. So this should work. So now I should be able to install the motor right there, put the motor here, put the nut and the washer, and then screw it back in, and that should fix that problem. So again, I think it's not perfect, and it's definitely a cheap solution, but it is a solution nevertheless. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I reinstalled the motor, and like I said, it's pretty simple. It's nothing more than putting a few screws like here, there, and there. And what I did first is that I installed the length, then I was able to connect and put the nut and tie that up. And this, it has one cable, one plug here. So I'll plug that back in, so it's all ready to go. So now I'm gonna test the windshield wipers and see how they do after this. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna be able to see if there is any slack. I can tell you already just by moving this right here that there is no movement. Before I was able to move them like at least 5 or 6 inches up and down, and now they're pretty tight. So just with that, it's a big improvement. I was lucky that the link in the center there, it looks pretty good, so I didn't have to replace that one. I just have to replace the one that goes here to the motor, but you know, I guess next time we'll be replacing that one. But like I said, the little package of parts that I got comes with 4, so I got 3 more to spare, you know, so if this happens again, I kind of already know how to do it. It's pretty simple. It takes about an hour to do the whole thing and get it replaced. Now, I have not replaced the one in the middle. That will be a little bit more involved, I think, because I will have to take the linkage off. But if I have to, I guess it won't be a terrible thing. So if I have to do it, I'll do that next. But I was fortunately that the one in the middle was pretty good. So there you go. There's the motor. I vacuum all that and kind of like clean it and wipe it off. Put some WD-40 on the screws and that kind of stuff, grease and all that, so it goes nice and smooth. So that should hold for a little while. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. I just replaced all these things, and here we go. Look at that. No slack anymore. Obviously it's kind of noisy because it's dry, but look at that. Problem fixed. No more sloppy windshield wipers. I think for $11 and maybe about an hour of work, it's definitely worth the time, and it's definitely worth the effort. Okay everyone, that's it for this video, and I can truly confirm that this NAPA auto part number 63505, which is a wiper linkage for a Ford, and I think it's also a transmission bushing linkage or whatever. But I can confirm that this part works. It replaces the all worn out Toyota part, and a package, I think it was $11.99. It comes with 4 of them, so you will have plenty of spare parts. It wasn't too hard to install. Like I said, it took me like maybe an hour and a half to do the whole thing, and that's including this video, so it's probably less than an hour if you really just set out to do it. But there it is. Cool and cheap solution for the Fj60. There it is, and I'm gonna repaint this later, but there it is. There is no more wiggle, maybe about half an inch or so, but that's kind of normal. So all I gotta do is put these plates back now, and it will be all done. But anyway, thanks again, and like and subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy this video, and leave us a comment, and hopefully this helps you if you have an Fj60 with this problem and you can't find the part anymore because it's been discontinued. So there you go, a cheap solution without having to replace $200–300 worth of parts and labor and expensive linkage and all that. So hey, there you go. Hope you like and subscribe, baby. Thanks.